Welcome back to our humble San Diego podcast. This is Drop the Mic, and I am your host, Swann. This week, we welcome back Chris Pawlak to the show for our very special Best of 2021.
Thank you for having me. This is always a fun episode to do.
Yeah.
Double up at the end of the year with the Christmas and the Best of.
Pretty much a part 2, right?
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to your takeover. I think this should be pretty exciting, right? In a kind of meddling year, I guess.
Yeah, we're still not where we were from 2019, but some things did come around. We're a little bit better, but still, like the kind of best of is not really a top 10, at least for me, because I didn't see as much.
Yeah, it's
But we can still talk about some other stuff that I was watching.
Yeah, definitely. We can talk. We can talk about whatever you want, man. To be honest.
We'll just ramble. Well, I told you, I have no notes. I have no plan. I have nothing. So this is all off the top of my head.
You know, which is a rare occasion for you. It'll be interesting. But anyway, thanks for making the time for us.
Thank you for making the time for me to come. I'm also sorry that this was kind of a back and forth with me not knowing if I'd be able to sit here with you or do or call in over the phone with the weird schedule that I've had.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we can make this work, and
In
I was
person.
able to come and sit here with you and do the show together.
Yeah. All right. So before we drop into the highlights and dislikes of this year, let's warm up with a few of our usual segments, shall we?
Sure.
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
All right. So for pop culture news, did you have anything for us this week?
I did. Unfortunately, 2 deaths that I have to shout out. One is Jean-Marc Vallée, directed Dallas Buyers Club, directed Wild, did Big Little Lies for HBO, Sharp Objects too, I believe. Passed away, Sunday evening, I think. He was only 58, so that's pretty young.
What happened?
No cause of death given,
Oh.
which always is kind of a maybe that was not a natural death, unfortunately, but we'll see. I did want to shout him out. And then just the other night, I heard John Madden passed away. So that's a bummer. John Madden, great football coach, for what my opinion is worth, probably one of the best commentators for sports. Although I think he mainly just did football. I could be wrong on that, but definitely one of the best color commentary guys ever, if not the best.
Yeah. He was 85.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Was that it?
That's for my news, yeah.
What about we should, since we're talking about,
We need to talk about Chewbs.
yeah.
We had a rough start to the week. We lost Chewbacca.
Who is pretty much the mascot for our show.
You should post that picture of you and him on air that I took of you guys a few years back.
It's in the highlights on Instagram.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
I forget what movie we were talking about then, but Chewb had his opinions. He was like, you guys are dead wrong on this movie, and here's what I think. And I was a little offended by that.
Yeah.
Chewb, you can't say that. But yeah, that was a big bummer to the start of the week. We loved him so much.
Yeah.
He's your buddy.
Yep.
Because he's always with you, hanging around.
Yeah, I feel like with your pets, especially when you live with them, you see them every day, you develop a bond that no one else is really going to understand, you know, so it's hard.
He was a good boy. I always loved coming over here and hanging out with him and seeing him. I mean, I remember when Susie got him. and we always have fun. I love taking him for walks, especially when we would go down to Balboa Park and give him a walk. I have a bunch of pictures of him, a bunch of pictures of him and I hanging out.
Yeah, we have tons. Yeah, videos, pictures.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
Yeah, so I'm gonna miss him quite a lot.
Definitely. Over a decade of friendship for me, and then a decade of fatherhood for you. You know, it's at least I can sleep at night knowing that we gave him such a great life.
Yeah,
you know? And that's the important thing.
Yeah, he was well loved, well taken care of. Couldn't have a meal without him sitting by your side,
Yeah.
trying to get in on that.
Mm-hmm.
But he was always really fun, and gonna miss him terribly.
Definitely. So R.I.P. to the OG co-pilot. Moving on. So I'm sure you know this. Everybody knows this. Spider-Man: No Way Home has hit $1 billion already.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Crazy. Definitely mopping the floor with everybody.
Yeah.
This year.
Well, last year was a weird year where
For the pandemic, I should
the
say.
pandemic year, and we're still in the pandemic, but things have mildly improved. Seems like we're doing a little bit of a backslide right now, unfortunately, but this was probably the first big box office hit in almost 2 years, if not more.
My hopes are that Warner Brothers can, which I'm sure they will, but do something similar for the Batman, which is coming out in March.
Yeah.
Right. And that's pretty much all I had on my end. Not too much news bits that I saw.
Yeah. It's been a slow week because of the holidays.
Yeah. Which so we'll move into our weekly recommendations if
Sure.
you're ready.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
Sure. What do you got? You go first.
So on Christmas, I was able to check out Licorice Pizza,
Awesome.
which I enjoyed it, and I don't agree with the whole grooming stuff that everybody's tossing out. Just see the movie for yourself and make your own opinions. If you don't like it, then that's fine, but give it a chance first.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Yeah.
But
I'm super excited to see it. I love Paul Thomas Anderson. Always want to check out one of his flicks, especially in the theater.
it's a very different side of him as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's really done a lighthearted film
Yeah.
like this before, at least in this way. So I think you're really going to love it.
Well, I still contend that at least half of Boogie Nights is a comedy.
Yeah, that's what when I
The
walked
other half
out.
is real dark.
When I walked out of the theater, I was like, yeah, there was a lot of Boogie Nights in this, because it's the same era, too. But yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson is definitely one of the best.
Yeah. I was really hoping to catch it before we did the show, but unfortunately, because it came out for us, at least, on Christmas, and because this is less than a week in between, it's, 5 days? Only 5 days ago.
Yep.
And with my schedule, I just couldn't make the time to be able to see it before we did the show. So unfortunately, I don't have a conversation to have with you about Licorice Pizza on air.
That's okay, because maybe it's a little early to get into spoiler territory as well. So maybe it's a good idea that we can't discuss too much.
Yeah.
But yes, Licorice Pizza, check it out for yourself. What do you got?
I wish I could say I've seen it. I haven't yet. Really want to. Check out The Tragedy of Macbeth. I'm really stoked on that. With Frances McDormand and Denzel Washington playing Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. I really wanted to see that. That's another one that kind of came out on Christmas, but just don't have the time yet. But go and support that. Go and support Joel Cohen, excuse me.
An A24.
A24.
Are you are you somebody who's going to be bothered? I know it's like a straight up like a straight up adaptation as the Shakespeare playwright or whatever, right? So is that something that bothers you when they talk in a different dialect?
No.
No?
No, just Romeo and Juliet fucking bugs me because that movie's such trash. And it just, like you say, it's all style and no substance.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But no, that doesn't bother me. And Macbeth is hands down my favorite Shakespeare.
Okay.
Because it's super dark. I know everyone always wants to point to Hamlet, but for me, Macbeth is the tops. So I'm really excited for it, especially seeing Denzel in the title role.
Okay.
And really want to see it. Also, should be pointed out, this is the first movie that Joel's making solo. It's not the Coen brothers anymore, because I think Ethan is just, hey, I think I'm done directing films, so I'm going to go and do this other stuff. And Joel's just kind of going out solo, so this is his first solo movie.
Okay. Well, from the trailer, it looks really good.
Yeah, looks great. And the cinematography, the black and white cinematography looks fantastic.
Definitely.
So check that out. And you know what my other one's going to be? It's the same thing every year.
Oh yes, we know.
If you're a huge fan like I am, check out the 2-night New Year's Eve, New Year's Day Twilight Zone marathon on the Sci-Fi Channel. My favorite TV shows. I think I recommend this every single end of the year show. Always support the Twilight Zone. That show is amazing. Those shows are almost 60 years old now. Yeah, so 2019 would have been 60 years.
59, yeah.
Yeah, almost 60 years old. Well, some half of the episodes are definitely 60 to 62 years old now, and the other half are nearing that, but a lot of those episodes are just as relevant today as they were when they were being made in the late 50s and early 60s. So I highly recommend that you check them out.
Now I'll actually be able to watch more, so because I won't be working.
Oh, you know what? You know what happened to me last year? Like I was supposed to work today, and I was going to have tomorrow, which is New Year's Eve, off, depending on when this posts. Tomorrow from our present is New Year's Eve. And last year, because I was furloughed and was off for that period of the 6 or 7 months, I literally got up on New Year's Eve, turned the TV on, and the TV did not get turned off until about 2 a.m. on January 2nd. It stayed on the entire time. I did everything. I watched The Twilight Zone as I was working around the house. Sat down, watched a bunch of episodes, get up, do something else around the house, but just leave it on in the background so I could hear. And then slept in front of the TV on the couch. Woke up, middle of the night, watched a few episodes of Twilight Zone, go back to sleep. So I was a real bum, but I figured, well, I have nothing else to do. When is the next time I'm going to be able to sit down and watch the 48 hours of the Twilight Zone? So when I found out that I had to switch my day today with tomorrow and actually work tomorrow, I was like, that was probably a good thing, or else I would have turned on the TV at 6 a.m. and been in front of it until I had to go to bed, or slept in front of the TV, watched Twilight Zone, then get up and go to work on New Year's Day. So probably best that I'm not spending the next 24 hours. At least the next 24 hours in front of the TV watching Twilight Zone, but I highly recommend it if you've got nothing